Well, hey, everybody. I'm coming to talk to you a little bit today about how to trade half day when you got a half day session and how to use stack spreads when your trade is being challenged. And that's something you can do any day, basically. I'm going to walk you through the trades that I took on this day, Thursday, July 3rd. But this kind of trading is useful any day, doesn't matter really which day. But when you get into a trade, you can find that price will get close to your trade and your trade starts to get challenged with credit spreads, and you want to see how do you stack those trades to pull in more premiums as you wait for the price to reverse and to go away from your strikes, but you can be putting on more trades to pull in more premiums while you wait. All right, so let's get into it. So as you see here, the market has opened. It's about 9:37. Generally, I don't usually get into the market too early in the day. I try to give it about 30 to 45 minutes. But on this particular day, I knew we had a half day. So I kind of had a little bit of time to watch you. Anyway, I this was a little bit of a unique day, but I'm looking at the gamma chart here on the right, the GEX chart, and I'm looking at how market is moving a little bit. So I'm looking to see what's the wide like over to the right. How far am I thinking price will go over? So I'm looking for like a wide iron condor, so I go like way over to the right to get some, to a little bit of maybe a trade that's way far right. And I'm looking for something that's far left. All right, so price is moving a little bit. Um, and I'm looking over to the right. I see the big green bar on the GEX chart is 62.60, but I do also see this little shadow behind the 62.80 there has a big shadow behind it, which means there's call volume that's back there. So I did end up getting 62.80. I opened a trade of 62.80.85, and it probably would have been wise to go one more step, but 62.80.85 is the trade that I opened at 9:38 is the trade I opened. I'm going to write us a little thing here so we'll know that at the particular time, right around this time here, I did 62.80.85 call credit spread, and I only did 2 contracts here. I wanted to go light because I knew it was early, first of all. Second of all, I felt like that trade, the price was going to get up there. I didn't know if it was going to get all the way to 62.80, but I was going to climb up to that price, but I wanted to kind of be in position, but I wanted it to be light. So at 9:38 is when I took that trade. All right. So we got prices continuing to go on. Now I do the 15-minute opening range out. So as prices continuing, let it keep going. As prices continuing, let's move to 9:45. I'm using Thinkorswim's on demand, which I'm a huge fan of the on demand replay feature because it allows you to see, you can replay what happened in the market. And you can do videos like this. You can, well, not this, of course, as a YouTuber, you can use it for videos, but as just you can back test this way. You can go see what actually happened in the market. Oh, come on, let it move me forward. I'm actually going to move it forward to about 9:48. Let's do that because I want you to see that price does break out of the opening range. And when it does that, I start looking for. Okay, so we're at 9:45, 9:46, and you see that there is an opening range breakout in progress. We're breaking out. So now I'm looking for a put credit spread to go along with the opening range breakout. But I'm keeping in mind that there is a gap here. So even though I believe there's going to be a good force and a good steady momentum, I'm looking for a put credit spread but I want it to be something that I can use my PDT hack on. Basically, I'm going to ride with the momentum, and then I'm going to I'm going to lock it with my PDT hack. So it's a way that I lock in trades and make sure that my profit is secure. I don't just leave it to the end of the day because I can use the PDT hack. Now, if you don't know what the PDT hack is, you definitely can look for some other videos of mine, or of course we've got entry into the membership in the community where it is taught and used every single day with us. You can go to bit.ly/E2T-membership. That link will be in the description so you can join us in the membership that we run. We trade SPX every single day as a unit together. But I'm looking here at the confirmation of the breakout. And then at around 9:48, I do put on another trade to go along with that. And it is a put credit spread. I go with 62.40, 45 put credit spread. I do 4 contracts. I take in $90 and I do 4 contracts. And again, the price will continue in the upwards direction, goes right along with the gamma chart. This gamma chart is showing that there's a whole lot more green. Price really wants to go to these large green bars. It wants to push up to this 62.60 and then up to 62.75. So with this thought, I believe price wants to keep pushing up to this direction. So that's going to give me incentives and motivation that the price will keep going, and that's going to give me the opportunity for my trades to get locked in and to lock in those profits. Okay, so it's about 10:10 now, and those PDT hacks I was talking about with the 62.40, 62.45 have started to lock in. Excuse me. These trades have started to lock, and they are locking in $50 and $60 in profit. So I don't have to worry about whether price will fall back down here. But what's happening also in the meantime is price is continuing to climb up. We're at 62.71. And remember, I have 62.80.85 as a call credit spread. So just like I was talking about using those the gamma chart, I'm now again remembering that the gamma chart also says that price is going to climb up to this area. So I now need to keep that in mind as my other trade could potentially be in the line of fire. Okay, so here's the gamma chart from 10:15. And you can see here that the big candles, the big green candles, there's starting to be more and more volume over here to the right. So we've got 1080 is still a big green candle, and it's fallen off after this. But now that we're up here in the 1070, 1080 area, I'm ready to put on some trades that are beyond that. So I also at this time did a trade that was 1085, 1090. 1085, 1090. Oh, I was saying 1085, 1090, but I did 62.85 and 62.90. Not 1085, 62.85 and 62.90. Yeah, those are the numbers that I did after that, because I saw that there's a big number there for the big greens on the gamma chart. Okay, so we're about 11 o'clock here. Price is slowing down, taking a bit of a break. And listen, today, on this particular day, the market is going to close at 1. So this would give you the indication that there's going to be a pause, potentially a turnaround, kind of like, yeah, we're taking a break. I would like or wanted to believe that market was going to turn around. The S&P was going to turn around, but let's just wait and see what happens. Okay, so it's 11 o'clock. We're looking at the gamma chart at 11. And even though the chart really says it's got a potential for pause or for reversal, the gamma chart is giving us an indication that there's still a little bit more of a push. The big chart, or the big candle now is showing 62.80, and the current price though is at 62.76, but the big green is showing 62.80. So this, for me, says that the market still wants 60, I mean SPX, I keep saying the market, 62.80, 62. Okay, it says that SPX still wants to push to 62.80, even though it's showing a little bit of a stall. It's just kind of chilling, basically, probably resting for a minute, gaining some strength. But the gamma chart is helping to see that 62.80 is still a draw and still some place where market wants to go. So you still got a pull here. So we could have kept riding our 62.40.45 put credit spread, but at the time, listen, see profit, take profit. I don't have any problem locking in my profits, especially when I'm dealing with SPX, because SPX takes no prisoners, and you'd rather go ahead and lock in profits when you can regain your buying power, which is what you do when you got your PDT hack. And I'm looking now, what I'm thinking about, because this 62.80 is telling, I still have a trade over here that's 62.80.85 that has not been secured with the PDT hack. So that is still in mind for me. And at this point, price is about $3, $2.50 from my price over here. So this 62.80, I'm a little bit concerned. And we still have about 2 hours, because because market is going to close. The stock market is going to close at 1 o'clock. And for all intents and purposes, we're coming to a power hour at 12 o'clock. So I'm keeping that 62.80 trade in mind. Remember, I went light. I went very light, and I also have 62.85, 62.90 up here. But I'm also now starting to think about, do I want to stack more trades above this? Price is coming up. Do I want to stack more trades above it so I can get more premiums on the top side? Okay, so at 11:06, which is a few minutes ahead of where we are right now, I do go ahead and add 62.90, 62.95 call credit spreads. I do add those to my trades. This is where the stacking comes in, right? I'm saying that in doing this, I'm looking to see the price is still climbing up. I don't believe it's going to climb too much past this, just based on the gamma charts that we're looking at. I don't think we're going to go too much past this. Once we get to this big green bar here, which is at 62.80, I believe there's going to be a fall off. The volume is not up here. The fact that the premiums aren't very high, even we're in close proximity, also says it's probably not going to push very much. But I want something that's going to balance off the fact that I have 62.80. I don't, at this point, I would like to believe, because then now I'm, in the moment. At this point, I'd like to believe that price will hit the 62.80 and pull back. That by the end of the day, it will pull back. But I also know that when price gets in proximity in the 62.80, sometimes there is more call volume that gets put on, because now price is there and people start putting on more calls because they're like, oh, it's at 62.80. Let's get on to 62.85s and 62.90s. And the more call volume gets put there, and that momentum starts to push it, especially if we're in power hour, which we're about 2 hours from power hour. So those are my thoughts as I'm continuing to watch the price action during the day. Okay. Oh, let's turn this back on. I thought price was running already. All right. So here we go. Still being inside of on demand. So we're still seeing how price is going. This is a replay of the day, basically. How are things just replaying out on the day? Okay. You see that we're at 11.11 and the price is at 62.78. It's gone up as high as 62.79. Lets you know that price has and wants to be right up there with the 62.80. Good thing we've got some trades that are above that, but this 62.80 trade challenged. Oh my goodness, it is being challenged. totally being challenged. So what I did was, even though I'm watching it, kind of letting it do its thing, trying to see what price action is going to do, I'm still concerned. I'm still a bit concerned. I can pull in the gamma charts. I'm looking to see what is gamma doing, and gamma, it still has the 6280 as the main, as the big number. Volume hasn't necessarily picked up in this area. Price is just dancing right here at the strike. But about 11:45, let me pull up the 11:45 chart. The prices, the candles next to there start to pick up. Okay, here we are at 11:45. After 11:45, actually, price has pushed up over past the 6280. My 6280 trade is officially breached. It's not all the way breached, just the sell leg. Price is at 6281, kind of dancing around, showing that it wants to kind of have a slowdown. But if we're looking at the gamma chart, and I really didn't intend for this video to be a gamma chart video, but here we are, right? But we're past the 6280, and we're over this 6285 candle has gotten much bigger, which I was mentioning a little bit earlier in the video, that once the price gets here, then more volume picks up next to it. So now you have volume that is on the opposite side or on the right side of the 6280. So there's, interest over here. People have put money on over here, and you're like, no, what are y'all doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? So I'm still letting it kind of pass, letting some time kind of pass to see what are we doing and to decide whether or not I want to turn off my trade. Now, my trading plan does say that when my short leg gets breached, I will turn off the trade and then reposition. So I'm now teetering on this thought. I'm saying, okay, well, we're right here. We're dancing at 62. We're dancing at 6280, 6281. Am I going to turn off this trade? Am I going to give it a chance to now pull back? I'm looking at all these things because, I'm going to tell you now, y'all know that following your trading plan, probably one of the hardest things to do is actually turn off a trade that you think could possibly be a good trade. Oh my goodness. So anyway, let's keep watching. Okay, so the price looks like it wants to pull back a little bit. Only a little bit though. You can't get excited because you see price is only at 62.79. You do kind of have a little bit of an indication that price wants to come back some. We've got a moving average right here that will play some support, but these wicks at the bottom, we are in power hour. So it's 12:25. We're in the midst of power hour. This is honestly, even though there is a little bit of a turnaround here, it is not really like confirming that it's going to stay below 6280. We're at 62.79. This is not much of a turnaround. There is still some support here at 62.76. Again, we've got 30 minutes. We do know that I know that price will at 15 minutes till can pick up and run still hard the other way. We're not out of the woods. Okay, just so you know, 62.79 is not out of the woods. I'm still looking at gamma saying this isn't quite ready. You see, we still got a lot of good. The green candles are still up. There's still a lot of volume up here. The red in the area, the bearish area, is not picking up. We've got wicks down here. I basically know this is probably not gonna turn out my way, and I don't want to get to the end of the day and end up having a problem. So I decide about 12:30, to be honest. I decide about 12:35. It actually was 12:35 when I decide I'm going to turn off my trade. I turn off this trade, and I turn it off with by using the PDT hack. I just was talking about the PDT hack. I use the PDT hack to turn off this trade. So I don't use a day trade, but I do close the trade, and I close it off for a smaller loss, right? I actually just close the trade for a smaller loss and still have my other positions on, and I've added more. I've stacked on. We can see that the trade did pull back. That the price on SPX did pull back. Again, we got some good wicks down here. We've got a nice green. This turned around. We're still at 62.80 at this point. the price is not giving what I need to be given. So at 12:36, 12:37, 12:38, I decide I'm not going to continue to worry about this into the close, because it is still at my price, and at any moment SPX can decide it's going to run and run straight through my trade completely, right? So we're at 12:37. 23 minutes left, basically. Let's watch the rest of the day. That trade is turned off, but listen to what I do, because sometimes it's just a little risky. I wait until at 12:52. I'm gonna jump us forward here a little bit. Let's jump us forward 10 minutes. This is what I love about on demand. I jump us forward about 10 minutes. I'm watching the price action. I can take us down to a 5-minute chart. So I'm watching the price action. And as I'm watching these candles, this is why you got a chart, by the way. Price action and watching how it's moving. And I see that price is kind of pulling back and dancing. It does pull down a pretty good ways below 62.80. And then I say, oh, I think it'll do. Come on. I think it'll do. I closed the trade for a small loss, and then I don't like to call myself a gambler, because I don't think I am, but I'm looking at and reading the charts as well. And I feel like 62.80, which was a good place from the beginning, I feel like 62.80 is really probably going to hold. So at 12:52, I'm gonna use my little pencil here. At 12:52, I actually do 62.80, 85. And I want to believe that it's not me being a revenge trader right here, but I do put on 2 contracts, I think for $70. I put on 2 contracts at that same. No, I just closed 4 of them. I put 2 of them back on. Like, I'm gonna get some of my money back. I'm getting some of my money back here. So I put on 2 contracts for $70 and collect $140 back right there at the last, well, almost the last minute. But listen, this can be the longest 8 minutes of your life, the longest 7 minutes of your life. It can be forever. So I'm not gonna just let us sit here and go through what the rest of this looks like, but I want us to move us forward to the end of the day, so that way we can see actually how does SPX close, and where do we end up with, and with money wise, what do we end up with, because that's really what's important, is what do we end up with on the money. Okay, so we get to the end of the day. The price ends right here, 62.79.35. Whoo! Now, I could have kept my 62.80, 85 from the beginning of the day, but y'all see how much hassle and how much challenging that was. Oh my goodness. Now, 2 things or 3 things I want to talk about. First of all, the 62.80, 85, to enter a call credit spread this early in the day at 9:30 is not what you should do, because you really need, as call credit spreads, you really need more information. For if you're going to take on a trade and you're going to stay with it all day, you need to really take in a little more price action information, especially if you're not sure if it's going to have this type of trending day. Now, to get into a put credit spread earlier in the day and ride it like that would have been perfect. But to get into a call credit spread with an uptrending day is just, no, it wasn't the best move to be on the top side when price was going up like that all day. So that's one thing. Second thing, but I wanted to show you, if you're in this situation, or if you are or not, you still want to be able to stack trades throughout the day as the day goes on, right? We still got our put credit spread, which that one could have been put on and left to go all the way and continue worthless. I did use the PDT hack to lock in those profits just in case price decided to reverse, but we had all the moving averages working in our favor. By the time we got to the end of the day, the 9 and the 20 were, are right here together. Basically, they started to close in the gap together and went flat. But initially, they were spread apart and moving together. But we were above the 50 the entire day, which let you know we were definitely bullish. SPX was bullish all day long. So put credit spreads would have been fine to do all day and not do any call credit spreads, if you're honest, to just ride the bullish wave all the way up would have been a thing to do. All right. So as I mentioned before, I didn't talk about how much money. By the end of the day, I had collected made a total of $440 in premiums. $440 in premiums from all of my trades. for the day. Basically, all you have to do when you're doing, you collect your premiums and let time decay go on. Feel free to come on and join us. We're at http, that should be a P, http e2t.trading. Every day we trade SPX and we trade XSP every single day. Come over there and join us in the membership. We have trade alerts. We have training. We have a coach. I'm here in the Telegram with everybody. Coach access. And we have charting calls on Sunday. Right? You can come over and join us. This link will also be in the description, and I'd love to have you to come over and join us. All right? Make sure you like and subscribe. Click the notification bell, all the stuff that you're supposed to do on the videos. All right? Talk to you later. Bye.